What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Content is Profit. It is Monday at the time that we're recording, best day of the week, and you are listening to this on Tuesday, if you are right with us. Fonzie, what's up, man? Welcome back.
Thank you. I am joining you from an undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location, yeah. We're not going to reveal your home address. Your true home. Okay, I have a fun fact for you. Ready?
We're here like 2 weeks a year.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I have a fun fact for you. Ready? So, guess. Well, I guess fun fact, but you guess first. What's the percentage of YouTube users that watch live content on Q2 in 2025?
57%.
You're very optimistic, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then what? Is it like 20%?
Over 30%. Over 30% of YouTube users watch live content inside of the platform.
It's not bad. A third?
Yes.
Probably going to grow even more.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the trends that we've been listening to, and it's funny that we were born out of live, not on YouTube. But then I think it's a story. Have you heard the story of when Mr. Beast and Speed and all them went to like that live charity soccer game in England? Alex Ramosi.
I heard the story. I don't know if the person that's listening to today's episode heard the story.
That's right. Well, you and me are having a conversation. That's right. So just quick kind of rundown of the story. There's like this charity match that they do in England where they invite, TV artists, they invite podcasters, they invite live streamers, social media personalities, right? And they play there and they kind of name them as they walking onto the field. And, you can see like the level of love from the audience with the size of the cheer, right? And a lot of these modern creators were chatting, and I think John Dutray shares this on his podcast. Alex Ramosi shared it also in one of his live streams, where the loudest like cheer was for the live streamers, and the smallest cheer was from like the A-lister TV stars. Diary of a CEO, Steve Arlett was the one also sharing this when he was there. And he's obviously a podcaster, so he was kind of mid-tier on the cheer level. But
above mid.
Above mid. Yeah. But I mean, live streamers, podcaster, long-form content creators, then you have, short-form content creators, and then you have like A-listers on the TV. And the kind of relationship that they were talking about was the amount of time that audience spends with you. So the live streamers, they'll be on for 8 hours a day, every single day, right? That's what they do. And they kind of like watch TV shows together, or they play video games together, and they just have built a massive relationship. So I think like everybody is trying to figure out their game on the live streaming now that, they see that benefit. I want to hear your opinions on it.
I love live stream. I think it's amazing. First of all, dude, we had it. My mind goes to where would our business or us be if we never stopped doing the live streams? I'm like, that was such a good thing, and I'm kind of sad that we stopped doing it that way. But yeah. It was a great lesson. We're pioneers at the end of the day. But
I don't think we should go even there, dude. Like, things happen for a reason. Like, we talk about this all the time.
Obviously.
And I think the reason we started live was because of less friction, right? We're like, we just need to put it out there, right?
100%. But again, I'm curious of like what would have happened if we would have stick with just live rather than transitioning the podcast to just a different way of doing it, which has worked as well, right? But for me personally, it just goes down to kind of like the principle of building trust, right? It's very difficult to build trust over a 1 minute reel. Even if like people binge watch a couple of your reels, it's difficult. It's not the same as having them for a 1 hour conversation on your podcast, or again, for some live streamers, hours and hours and hours, right? Some of these people are literally doing live stream as their job, right? Like 8 hours a day. Of course, some of those are entertaining. And I would argue that for the most part, in that game that you're talking about, is more of an entertainment thing, the live streamers or so. But I just think and I'm very pro live stream just because of the fact that, again, with AI coming on, people are going to look for more raw, unedited, what's real, who's real. I'm sure there will be a technology out there that will have AIs doing live here in no time, probably. Yeah. But for the most part, I think is that, right? You keep somebody's attention for a long period of time. You're able to build great amount of trust with them and deliver a lot of value. So, I mean, if you manage to get their attention, then retain them, you're winning 100%.
Yeah, I think it also goes hand in hand with a lot of people are seeking for that deeper connection with the people that they connect online, call it community or, and that's part of it. It's like the more time they spend with you, the more they see the real you. But even like that, I saw a reel the other day of like a clip of one of those live streams, and it's one of those like VR, I guess models or like not like models as in like cartoons, right? And then
are you watching, dude?
No. Like it was like one of those clips that this guy is live streaming, and then they connect with somebody else random that they're chatting, and then this random person turns out to be a cartoon, right? So they start talking, and the guy's like, "What do you like?" And then he's like, "Well, I like this other cartoon." It's like, "Give me a second, it's gonna drop," and then the guest kind of clicks a button, right? Like he's I guess. There's a software that tracks his movements, right? And the cartoon is moving like him and talking like him. And as soon as he touches the button, the footage switches to this like very old fat guy with like a VR headset on it, like pretending to be this new cartoon. And the live streamer just like cracks up, right? So, I mean, it's just hilarious, but it's gonna go there. It's gonna be like, I've seen live streamers that have software that changes their faces right off the bat. So it's like this guy, and then he's talking like a girl, right? And you're like, what's happening? And so again, as a consumer or as a business, like, what are the trends that are happening out there? Like, how can you first take care of your community 100%? Like, what's the value that you deliver? But also, like, how to use these tools to like add good to the world instead of that crazy stuff that is happening online, right? But anyways, YouTube is investing heavily into this, and they just released, as in last week, at the time of the recording of this episode, a bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna list them up, and then you tell me which one do you want to go. Ready? Go. Okay. So obviously a lot of people are super nervous to go live. Like, we've seen it here in the studio. We've seen it like in our challenges. People, the jitters come. So there is a sandbox mode in YouTube. And for those that have YouTube Studio accounts, they're going to see this coming up. But it's almost like test your setup before you actually go live. You know, how many times do we actually go live and then we hear ourselves, but then the sound is not coming through, right? So it's like you can test all this up before you actually go live. You can polish your lighting, your audio, your overlays, all inside of YouTube Studio. So they're clearly investing in all this. So you actually use YouTube as your main creation platform.
So question, like YouTube is creating a platform kind of like OBS, for example, like are they creating what is going to give you the transitions? You're going to plug all your inputs, camera sources, audio sources into YouTube Studio. You'll be able to run it all from there, or do you have something like OBS?
No, what I've seen is obviously you have like these third-party softwares that you can use to create like more intricate live stream. For example, we're recording right now on Ecamm Live, shout out. But then YouTube Studio has been evolving to almost like become that. So, you know, you actually do your production inside of YouTube Studio instead of using a third party. I don't think it's as robust right now, but they're integrating these features to go.
I mean, probably it won't. I'm going to go with it probably won't be as robust, but it's probably great for just getting it done, right? Just jumping in there.
Yeah. I mean, one of the, like, going hands in hand with that, I think it's playables. live. So they've been testing these interactive games like trivia or puzzles during live streams to boost the engagement. So like all these live streamers, you can pop a game online and people inside of YouTube can then interact and play there with it. And I think that could be really good if you can personalize part of it. I saw an example of one where it's just like trivia, you start asking questions. But again, what are these tools to maintain the engagement? You see a lot of live streams that go back and forth with their chat, as in the chat being a personality, right? All these people commenting back. But I don't know. What do you think about it?
I mean, I think in the education space, right, where we're at, mostly you can just have a poll that you can do it yourself, and engage with the chat. So that one for me is not that exciting, especially if it's games, right? Because if you're doing some sort of educational live stream and then you're like, all right, pause, let's play crosswords. Say, what's the point of that?
No, I think like as long as you could customize it to help your audience get to their goal. Again, keep in mind, for this show, we talk to business owners and people of that sort where can we help our audience create some kind of win or learn faster or take action, right?
Doing some sort of poll or have some sort of quiz with like a leaderboard, that would be cool. Right? I could just quiz them on whatever you've been talking about or, poll to just get their opinions. That would be a lot of fun.
Yep.
But not a fan of the game aspect. I don't think I'll be using in the future. Now, if you're doing entertainment, I can totally see that, right? Let's say somebody's just live streaming a game and then they pause it and they're like, all right, chat, let's play this other thing. Let's play crosswords. And then they just go ahead and play crosswords.
Yeah.
Or Sudoku.
Yeah.
Or how my wife says, Sudoku.
Okay. So this one I think is huge. This one's probably one of my favorites, is multi-format streaming, horizontal and vertical together. So until now, it's been really challenging to find a software that can do that. I think
Meld Studio.
I know there's one there. I personally haven't tried it yet, but obviously this helps unify the short form, audience and your long form audience into one format, especially, people are consuming in these guys. I think that's really exciting, and also unifies the chat within that vertical stream, which, a lot of people obviously use when it comes to this, if you have like a engaged audience. So I think that's huge because people can be on the road and they can be live streaming natively in a way that they're comfortable consuming.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's amazing. That one is top of the list for sure. The fact that you can leverage multiple platforms at the same time, especially when a lot of people are, their first platform might be Instagram, but then you're also kind of active on Facebook or you want to go on YouTube. Just doing them both at the same time, it's a win-win. Again, honestly, shout out to Meld Studio. It's 100% free, super nice, super simple. I've tried it. It's amazing tool for live streaming. If you guys want to check it out, this is not sponsored by any means, but it's a really, really good tool. And they allowed you to do that, right? To do the vertical and the landscape at the same time. Yeah,
you can go to Luisa Creates on YouTube. That's my hobby channel, and you can watch me play Fortnite.
You stream it on Meld?
No, not yet, but I tried it the other day for on Ecam, and it came out good, but the sound wasn't set up correctly, so it's deleted.
Oh, that's your fault.
I know, that is my personal fault. Yeah. Again, well, I could have used practice before going live with the sandbox feature here on YouTube.
I'll say that I did it. I think that's a cool option, but at the same time, you can just record locally and do that test. So I don't think I understand how that gives you more of a on the platform test, right? There may be some sort of, you can see your latency, how good your internet is, if it's going to be, pixelated or not. I'm sure some of that plays a role. But in all these other platforms, you can just record locally, record 5-10 seconds, test your scenes, all that stuff, and then you can see it if it actually works or not. So that one is not huge, but it's a nice thing to have.
Yeah, I think it also you can do as I'm reading here, you can do, polish your lighting or specific to the platform. over those different things.
I mean,
it just removes.
I think they say polish your lighting, but it's like you see the end result and you're like, oh, my lighting is terrible. Let me fix it real quick.
Yeah, I think it removes that step of having to, record it, download it, watch it, go back again. But whatever. We'll see. We'll see when it comes out and when we test it out. Okay, this one I think is huge because I was watching a video the other day from PK, who is the owner of the Kings League in soccer, right? And they created this new format of playing soccer, and they've been selling media rights left and right. They've been live streaming them. They've been leveraging a lot of content creators to do this. And he was talking about how people are consuming sports today. So he's been observing his kids watching, let's say, Barcelona, right? Because he played in Barcelona. And he's like, the kids have the game on, but they're also on their phone, kind of following other creators that are watching that game or commenting on that game, creators that they follow inside of social media, or they go to Twitter and they go to do these platforms, right? So we're still watching the main thing, but we're not really like fully paying attention to that. We're like on our devices, kind of interacting with the game. So YouTube decided to do react live to other people's streams or other people's content. So let's say people are loving Content is Profit. This is live. People are actually watching this and they can like re-live stream that, and then they can add their commentary on top of it. Now, what's cool is that this is going to be open for full-on trending live streams for like professional sports, for example. So this is going to be huge when it comes to like reporting or sports commentating and that type of stuff, where you can actually go and like re-live stream that footage and comment on top of it, which until this point, it has been all copyrighted and it's been a pain, and you cannot like really actually do that and show it in your screen. So obviously more marketing, more views for like that main sport, but at the same time, you as a creator can leverage that and bring more people based on your personality and different things that you can do that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be amazing. I mean, there's a lot of really cool, at least that I know of, sport creatives on the soccer, real football side of things, right? That they have really cool, insightful opinions. They're entertaining, and I think it adds a different dimension from some of the commentators that you might watch on TV. Every time we watch football, soccer, right? Again, real football.
Yeah.
When we hear some of the older commentators that we grew up with, I think it's kind of nostalgic, but some of those are really, really good.
Yeah.
But honestly, some of the newer commentators that are on TV, I'm like, I don't care at all about this guy. I don't believe they have any insights. And then I find myself watching, analysis and reviews from some of these other creators on YouTube. So it would be cool if I can actually just tune in, watch my game, and listen to the opinions and thoughts from an actual creator that, I might resonate with.
Yeah. I mean, during the Club World Cup, I personally ran a couple of tests for the football show, live streaming. I did like a little eCam setup and different things. And it was crazy, man. Like we had about, in a couple of games, 10,000 people that tuned in and watched the thing. Right. And we're not doing the game itself. We're just like talking and engaging. And so,
were you playing crosswords?
No, I was not playing crosswords.
Go through the game with people?
No. I was watching the game and I was like, let's see what happens. And this is one of those experiments, right, that we encourage people to do. It's like, okay, if you see a format that you like, go and test it out. Like Victor, for example, it's one of our customers in the challenge. He's been doing like on the fitness side, and I showed him a video of this guy that's challenging people to run a race with him. And he literally
just texted me. He's like, I got the glasses. I'm going to do videos like this one. And in my mind, I was like, I am 99% sure you sent them this video.
I did. And we talked about it after recording on Thursday for the Mass Live show in Spanish. And I'm like, because he was like trying different things. And I showed him, like, dude, like if you're in the gym and he's been talking about his events and trying to do like a live thing like that where you show your skills and your competition, I think like this could be really cool because very low friction. Like there's no editing at all. You do the thing, you do the little challenge with the person, you press record and then you publish. But anyways, I don't know why we ended up talking about that one, but
because you're talking about formats.
Oh, formats. Okay.
Like if you find a format that you like, lean into it and test it out.
Exactly.
That was the lesson.
That was the lesson. Thank you, Fonzie. Thank you. I just finished a workout, man, and I'm like exhausted. It killed me, but it's good. All right. Maybe you don't like this one. I think this is going to help a ton of people, but it's also going to bring mixed feelings. Ready? AI generated highlights or shorts from those live streams. So as soon as you end your live stream, YouTube is going to pick up and create those auto highlights inside of YouTube. So now platforms like Riverside or Descript or all this, they already do that. Opus do that. Teams do that. Personal do that. But at the same time, it's like, no, now it lives inside of YouTube, which until that point, it wasn't there. So I think at that point, they're just catching up. Give me your negative opinion.
I mean, it's not negative in my mind. It's just like, at least is real content, is not how Casey Neistat calls it, AI slop, right? It's not something like Sora right now.
Yeah.
Like people just type some words and it creates a video, an AI video that actually doesn't exist, right? So it's not that. It's actually just, it clips, it does the clipping automatically, which this is my thought with that. Sure, if it's inside of YouTube, is saving you even time because you probably don't have to export it and then publish it, and it can be a real tool for a lot of creators. Now, my question would be, is the clip going to be good enough to get people's attentions, right? Because if you pay attention to the clips that go above and beyond, the clips that perform well from these live streams, they have some sort of edits. They have some sort of, they change the structure. They create a certain type of hook, right? So sure, YouTube might be pretty good at capturing some of the more viral moments on your live stream, which is great, and you can publish it like that. But then I would argue at some point, let's say that AI actually elevates some of the content. There's so many people going to be doing it that there's going to be some sort of new baseline on people are not going to consume more of that content. What is the new thing? And that's always going to happen. I think that's a cycle with social media, right? And the perfect example is Alex Hormozi when he started with his clips, right? With the bold, big 1-2 word subtitles, right? Everybody was like, I want the Hormozi subtitles on my clips. Now everybody got some sort of subtitles that look like that, and the baseline changed, right? It went from being that fast paced with those big subtitles to now some sort of different format. So that's my point. I think, sure, it can be a valuable tool, specifically for somebody that maybe might be limited on resources and they want to see if they can catch some more people attention through that type of content. Very, very viable. Now, is it going to be great content? That's where I'm like, I don't know. We'll have to see.
I think this is going to create a great opportunity for personalities in the space. And we talk about good content, like a lot when I think these tools leave a lot of room for people to almost blame them if the content is not successful. Because we talked about about the message, right? Like, and I lately been consuming a lot of live streams in the gaming side and all that. And what I've seen is
you're a gamer now.
Yeah, I'm a 36-year-old gamer. I'm a frustrated gamer that it's coming back. But what I've seen is a lot of like reactions or like, moments that in that specific market is considered valuable, right? So again, all these tools are mainly also created, I think, this is my theory, based on entertainment content, right? Because if let's say we're doing a whatever lesson, right? Like a class or whatever, right? We're live streaming that. Obviously that audience pool is going to be a lot smaller than if we're playing the most popular game that there is, right? And, there's something that happens in that game that people are like, oh my God, that was crazy, right? Like less shareable or different things. So of course, at the end of the day, we have to bring it down to context, be like, okay, well, that is a tool that can help us maybe get a couple more audience members that are interested in that specific topic. But we have to understand that we might not be competing, with, an audience of some game that's really popular, right?
But I think it applies the same way, like what I said about that cycle. Like there's going to be entertainment content. And I agree, for the most part, probably the majority of people that consumes for entertainment purposes. But it's going to get to a point where, okay, if the baseline grows on quality, like that just becomes the baseline, right? Still, then people are going to be like, okay, how do I create something different, right? How do I stand out? And that's always going to be the challenge.
Always.
With social media, it's always going to be that part is never going to change, which is how do I stand out? How do I show up differently to grab people's attention? So again, if the AI is catching people's, moments for different that they can be on personality and stuff, in a sense, they're probably going to look a little bit similar, at least the editing style, because it's just kind of like the raw takeaway of it. And then I guess the question would be, what do the editors can do with that, right? Can they export it and then turn it from a level 5 to a level 8 clip, improve it, etc. So yes, useful tool. But again, I think it's like just a tool, right? It's how do you use it?
Yeah. I'm excited, man. I think this is going to help a lot of people kind of put their message out there and test things out at the end of the day, right? Because, people...
It's going to help you with your gaming career.
We'll see. I got to become good first. But, jokes...
You don't have to be good. You just have to be entertaining. That's the thing.
I know. We game late at night, so energy might be... I'm doing it to de-stress at the moment, so we'll see. I'm like,
you need like
game mode.
The little fire that comes out when you like get a point in the game. You're like press a button, like some lasers, and the fire comes out.
That'll be hilarious. Yeah, I saw a guy the other day playing, and he has like this like smoke machine behind him. So he's like playing in a cloud of lights, and like, dude, I'm like, people are like. It's a whole different world. So intense.
How do you show up differently, right?
Exactly. And but anyways, we'll see. I mean, yeah, maybe. Let me know in the comments. Send me a message if you want to see us lose in Fortnite. All right. As we wrap up here, I think the last one is obviously interesting for a lot of brands that also want to jump on the bandwagon here of YouTube Live. Is there going to be some side-by-side ads, so the live stream won't be interrupted. I don't know how it's going to look, but it looks like the live stream continues. You're going to be able to see it, but then on the side, you'll be able to see these ads. And then there's obviously a members-only live stream feature where YouTube launched subscriptions not so long ago, and I'm sure it goes hand in hand with that. But what they're doing is obviously they're giving the creators the tools to be able to do that. I think they're also trying to compete with platforms like Kick or Twitch as well, that they were live stream first platforms, and they want to bring people into the platform to create inside of that.
I mean, so many people already using YouTube, right? Why not stay there to watch your favorite live streamers? They're probably gonna have to. I'm sure they already do this of some sort, but Kick and Twitch today and say incentivize some of their creators with pretty big paychecks.
That the Kick is well known for that.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna look very, very similar to when you're watching a soccer game, and right at the beginning when they're like coming out or something, and the screen just goes to a side, gets smaller, and then you can see the ad running. But yeah, I think that's a great opportunity, right? At the end of the day, the creators, everybody wants a chance at making money, at making it some sort of a career. At least most of the people I would say that are creating content, whether that is for entertainment or education purposes. So the ability to now do live streams, be able to have ads pop up in there and make some money. That's good. Yeah.
I think it's really exciting. I cannot wait to see how people are applying this. Obviously, we're a show that's in the business side of things. So I'll be very interested because there is a massive gap between entertainment content and business and more like educational side when it comes to things like this, I've noticed. I'm excited to see what happens. I mean, what will be an idea? I think like the vertical thing is massive, especially because a lot of businesses have presence when it comes to like shorts or Instagram reels or things like that, where you can already grab pieces of that live stream that's already vertical. Not only like the maybe not the AI generated, but you can maybe live stream and then grab that footage and put it on those platforms, right? To leverage that type of audience. I think the part of the interaction, if there's a feature that you can build it relative to your business, like you mentioned earlier, we could be like, hey, we talked about topic 1, 2, 3, and then you engage with your audience to see, okay, what topic are we tackling first, or bring them into the conversation. I think that could be like really exciting too. Obviously, the premium subscribers or the premium members that are there, you can do something really cool. So we'll see. I don't know if you are listening or watching and you are already doing something like this with live streaming on the business side. Let us know. Send us your videos. We would like to see it, and obviously we can talk about it on the show. So cool. Anything else, Fons? How are those grapes?
The grapes are delicious.
I can hear you chewing, dude.
Oh, really? I was looking at my levels to see if you could hear it. I didn't see them, but
I apologize to everybody that we're like, what is that?
That is me eating grapes. That's what's going on.
Oh my God. You sound like a cow.
My amazing wife just put them next to me and
you couldn't help it. You couldn't help it. You couldn't wait till the end of the show.
No, I couldn't. They're delicious. Going back to the topic of live stream, some big people are making a live stream their strategy, right, for this next year. And again, it also just gives to understand when a platform is investing so heavily into something, they have all the data, right? So that means they're investing into that for a reason, right? So I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, we've talked about bringing Contents Profit back.
I'm down. We are ready. All I gotta do is press live. That's it. So,
bro, I've been the one telling you to do it. So. I don't know what you're waiting for. What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? All right. Before we head out, I want to share a little quick list of, do's and don'ts. This is easy, simple, for people to do this. You can add or remove any that you feel that they don't deserve to be on that list. So I would highly recommend run your practice mode, run your dress rehearsal for the show. It's been many times that we've started a live stream back in the day and something was not working. So however you want to do it, like Fonzie said it, record a little bit, see what's up, or then, or inside of your platform, good to go. This is huge. I think planning your highlights or planning like your moments, and ahead of time, massive. Yes. From Fonzie, if you're listening, he's like,
yes. That is honestly, that's like one of the biggest differences and that doesn't apply just to live stream, actually to podcasting too.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest things between some really big podcasts and some other ones that are not that big, which is they kind of like pre-make their content in a way that they know exactly what they're going to have, some sort of reaction or some sort of clippable moments, right? So do that. How can you do that in a podcast setting or even in a live stream setting? You can have different segments, right? When you do your research about the guest, you can see exactly maybe when they give certain type of answers, and you can craft that into the interview. For example, I've been wanting to do like the Wheel of Doom for the longest time on the show, where we have a wheel with prizes and challenges and all the fun things. I think that'll be absolutely amazing. Let me know if you're listening to this and you hear about that idea. Just let us know. What do you think?
Yeah, we're working with one of our partners. Shout out to Capture and Ash, to like a news randomizer. We started doing it for the football show, but we want to do it here. And that might be something like, hey, we might not know about this thing, and it comes out and it's like something that came out today. We're gonna talk about it today. Also, I think something that helps when it comes to like the shorts and those highlights is having internal rules for your team, as in like what is something that you consider a value indicator, as in like that's something that's a clippable moment, right? So of course, with live stream, things are going to happen, reactions are going to happen depending on what you're going to do. And if, you can establish rules like, for example, if I say XYZ and Fonzie reacts in a certain way, that's a clippable moment. For example, the grapes, right? Like he just ate grapes. That was a random moment, and like we're just laughing. Then that might be an indicator that might be something, depending on what you want to highlight for your shows. He's about to, wow. He just missed it completely. He was like 2 centimeters away from his mouth and missed it. Obviously, well, as we wrap up again, don't overdo your ads. So whatever, how they pop up in there, I think that's live streaming or content in general etiquette. Engage in real time, call out your chat, call out the usernames that are there, answer to the comments, like make sure that there's a relationship too with those. I mean, I've been watching a lot of like, Speed, for example, which by the way, Katie, my wife, has a crazy story. They were actually in Washington State, and the crazy amount of people that Speed brings with him in his live streams went literally over them. Like they were in the spot by randomly, who knew? We have some videos. Maybe we'll show them later. But anyways, the power of live streaming. Don't forget your call to actions.
The power of live stream, trampling
people. I know she was traumatized. She texted me like
people and children.
She was like, "Do you know who Speed is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And like, we just ran into him. Like, what do you mean? Well, I mean, like his crowd ran into us.
Ran into them.
yeah, pretty much. It's crazy. The video they sent. But obviously, don't forget your call to actions. Next steps, your offers. Like, what are you doing? And I'm putting them in there organically into it. And now, of course, afterwards, what's your debrief? Analyze your metrics. What is the watch time? What is the engagement, conversions? And then obviously make the relevant changes so you can get better every day. Anything else you want to add, Fonzie?
No, that was pretty good.
Solid.
Just a very good, honestly, low lift in a way. Depends on how you do it, of course. Strategy for many. Just jump in there, set it up in your schedule for an hour or two a week, and then just go live and talk about helping people and how you can help them, and maybe show it live or do parts of your work that you're doing, do it live. I think is going to be huge, actually. Just being like, all right, I'm going to do research that you're doing for clients. I was like, you know what? I'm going to jump on live stream and show everybody how I'm doing the research, walk them through the thought process. And I think that's going to be very, very valuable content.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Awesome, dude. Well, thanks for joining me again. Finally, we got you back.
Before we head out, if you want to take a 5-day content clarity challenge, make sure you go to bizbros.co/monetize.
Yes.
We've had a few people going through. We got really good feedback. It's a lot of fun to do as well. So if you are already producing in your content, you have an offer and you've dabbled in content, but you don't know necessarily exactly what to do, how to do it, right? You need some sort of guidance, some sort of plan, some sort of strategy. Go to bizbros.co/monetize, and we're going to help you with that. It's 100% free. You'll be joining me for 5 days, 5 consecutive calls. We're going to be having a blast. And at the end of the 5 days, you'll have a viable strategy to implement for the next 90 to 120 days and see the results that you want.
That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna cheer with a grape.
With a grape. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.